What's up, and welcome back to the Scuffed Ass Podcast for episode number 280. Wonder's already being annoying, so that's fun. It took 5 minutes.
Drugs.
He might be on drugs. He was just at the chiropractor, and chiropractors aren't real. So,
Yeah. That's where I go to get my drugs.
yeah, that sounds right. You're there for drugs. That sounds right.
Yep. Yep. Crack. I'm there for a good crack.
Ayo. Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know, man. How's your
I don't know
week
either.
been? Other than crack backing.
I don't know. It's only Monday, so.
Well, see, the last time we talked was last Monday, shithead. So obviously, I mean the previous full week.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Shit for brains. Jesus.
I do have an update on the They Did What podcast.
Right. I don't entirely. Oh, right. The pissing everywhere. They were pissing everywhere?
No. So basically, I don't know. Did I tell you I had to re-break all that shit out again
No.
on that wall? Yeah, so I hung the urinal again and flushed it, and it was still plugged. So all the work that I had just done, I had to tear all the tile off, re-break through all of the concrete that I had just done, and go down and remove pipe farther down to the bigger pipe so that I could run a bigger snake down the to remove whatever blockage was farther down, I guess. So anyway, got that done. And while I was in there, I had to look around and stuff, and someone was using the female restroom, which was on the other side of the wall, and they washed their hands, and water started coming up out of the pipe. I was like, oh. So I thought that urinal was on its own line all the way to the main line. It's not. There's a sink on the other side of the wall that comes out and ties in with the urinal line. So it wasn't pee on the floor. It was people washing their hands with the sink, and it backs up and comes out of the where the urinal would attach to. So made me feel a lot better. I was like, okay, now there's logic behind why there was water there. Because beforehand, I thought it was on its own line, and I was like, there's no other place water could have came from. So,
yeah,
it's a little sus, bro.
Okay.
So, luckily, no pee on the floor.
It wasn't pee. They're slightly better than I was giving them credit for. Good for them.
Yeah.
So you started playing Expedition 33. You might be farther into it now than I am.
Started as an understatement.
Did you beat it already?
I think I'm pretty close to beating it.
That's crazy. So you might be farther in than I am. To be fair, I've had a lot of other work I've had to be doing, but whatever. Like editing all of my YouTube videos and the TikTok videos. I know you've seen those. One of those has like...
I see one was doing really well.
The one's doing numbers right now. Still, I'm glad I'm not like actively logged into that account entirely. Like it's not my main account, because the notifications I'd be getting would be ridiculous. Because every time, like I go check it like every 20-30 minutes, and I have like 300 notifications.
Because that's one of the Black Ops videos,
that one might have been doing good.
One?
No, neither. The one that's popping off is the first part of my Jedi Survivor review.
That's right.
It's got 90,000 views currently.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That one's popping. Like the one Minneapolis Miracle, like a bunch of them are doing okay, but that one's like, I was gonna say
there were some others that were.
Yeah, that one's just cooking.
That's surprising that one's the one that of all of the content, that's the one that pops off.
Right? Yeah, I feel that.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible or that it shouldn't.
No,
I'm just saying out of all of the ones that you put out,
I've uploaded on there already.
Yeah, it's just weird that TikTok decided that's the one that gets promoted, and a lot of people shared it, so that makes a
Yep.
difference.
Um,
Wild.
Wild. Very. Sorry, I'm reading comments. I got
I can only
distracted.
imagine.
Yeah, so that's going on.
Because when I viewed it, there was I seen that it had over like 200 like likes and stuff. So I was like, oh shit. And I like viewed the views or whatever
Yeah.
on your profile. And I was like, oh shit, it's only got over 3,000 views at the moment,
Yeah.
which you had just posted the video not that long, like an hour before that. And I was like, well shit, you got 200 likes already and 3,000 views. This video will probably keep going.
Yeah.
And I guess I was right.
Yeah, now it's at 8,309 likes. That's why I keep getting so many fucking notifications. That and the 100 comments and the 537 bookmarks, which is interesting.
That's weird. Who's out there saving that shit?
Right? Like, who's like, I really want to watch this again later. Like, it's a good video, but like, I don't think you need to see it more than once.
I just wonder. So to me, the way it sounds like is people have been in an argument
honestly
with other people about this game being good or not.
They're like, here's a video to say fuck you one way or the other.
I guarantee you that is exactly what they're using it for. They're bookmarking it so that later on they could bring it to their argument that they've been having
probably
with whoever. That's what I do. So I'm gonna save this for later for when somebody brings up that bullshit argument again or something,
I'm so excited to finish my video for Clair Obscur. So the stuff I've been doing, because I said I've been working on the script, but I'm not even done with it. I'm barely into Act 2. Act 2?
What's considered Act 2?
Well, I don't want to spoil it because there's a pretty big thing that happens that I can't say.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm past that point, but we don't want to. It's a little early yet. We don't want to spoil shit for people.
Though it is funny. Charlie Cox, he plays Daredevil, and he's also Gustav in this game. So if you recognize the voice, that's why. It's because it's Daredevil.
Yep. Now there's one voice I really recognize.
Shadowheart, yes.
Yeah.
And then later, apparently, Lae'zel's voice actor's in this game. I haven't met her yet, but I'm excited for that one also.
That's why I fucking recognize that.
I know this voice, but I don't know why.
I know this voice. I don't know where the hell it's from.
It's because it's Lae'zel's voice actor, but probably not doing Lae'zel's voice. But yeah, Charlie Cox talked about Clair Obscur, and he's like, apparently the game's awesome. I'm not a gamer. I haven't played it. My agent asked me if I wanted to go into a voiceover. I was in the studio for 4 hours, and people keep like calling and texting me saying congratulations, and I feel like a total fraud. And that's just so funny. This game's so good. I've cried so many times already. I
cried in like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, dude. I cried twice in the fucking prologue, dude. It's ridiculous. And then crying immediately after that when you get on the beach and things happen. Because I really did think I got bamboozled. I'm like, really? Already? That makes no sense.
Yeah, I was pretty like confused as to how the world around me worked in that game to start with.
I still kind of am, but it's like putting it together pretty well now.
I think that's the point.
Yeah.
Because that's the part of being, when you go on expeditions is to gain knowledge.
And try to figure out, because the world for them is just a little bit of Lumiere that they're in. And then they know that the rest of the world exists, and there's whatever the fracture was, which I don't have the answer to that yet. Maybe I will at the end of the game. Maybe I won't.
Right.
Like, I don't know what they reveal fully.
Yeah, I've already got so I don't think I'm in the game as far as I would, say I am.
Yeah.
But I have hunches as to what do they call it? The
I guess this would be whatever. The Gommage is just the when they die thing. Like the turning to flowers.
But I have hunches as to what's actually happening there.
Okay. Interesting. I'm intrigued.
I have theories, but I don't want to like.
Once this game is like, once I've completed it, I will feel less bad about being spoilery because we're a couple weeks in now.
Right, because I don't want to be right and then somebody feel like I spoiled the game for them.
Right, and we'll put out, we'll say spoiler alert or whatever before we actually do it. But I did, like, Act 2 is when, I can say this because it's not a spoiler, not really. It's when Verso gets introduced. That's like when Act 2 starts.
Okay, yeah, I'm past that.
Yeah. I am like in the middle of that. Yeah, I am like in the middle of that still.
But like, it's hard for me because I'm like, okay, so how far am I into the game? Because I feel like I'm flying through it,
Yeah.
But also, you find like the previous expedition stuff, and there's like a whole ass, like, so I've only found like, I don't know, 9,
something
maybe.
Like that. You might have more than me because I know you go crazier running around the map and stuff.
Yeah, I think I've only got like 7 to 9 of the journals.
Yeah.
And there's, like 70 of them out there, so.
The combat system for that game is so special. I don't know why it's so much cooler than every other game, but it just is. Like, it's just incredible.
Right. Yeah. Well, it does take like a shit ton of strategy and it's not like other games that kind of have that same type of deal where it's kind of turn-based, It actually requires you to, because a lot of other games it's like, okay, now it's your turn, you do your thing, okay, now it's the other thing's turn, it does its thing and there's nothing you can do about it. You actually have to pay attention at all times for dodges and blocks and all kinds of shit, so it takes, plus I've always been a big story game, like a game that's got good story behind it and stuff like that. I've always been a big fan of that. So that caught me right off the bat, is that I knew it was going to have like good story.
Yeah.
And it's like the same reason why I play the Uncharted. It's not really for the game, it's more of the story behind it type thing.
Yeah. Ugh. Why? Ugh.
But so good. Like, it's funny because you pull that game up on Steam, and before I bought it, it was just how it has the reviews on the side where it says mostly, this game is mostly positive reviews or whatever, or something like that, or mostly negative, or this one was like, it said overwhelmingly positive reviews.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh. And then you said something about it.
Yeah, dude. I saw one guy and it pissed me off. Because, like, to me, this is game of the year. I see a lot of people arguing for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which maybe that's a good game.
It's a good game. I just completed that game. Right. So,
but like, I think there's levels to this, and like, it's a good game, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it was marketed as a very similar to Baldur's Gate. I'm not giving game of the year to a worse version of a game that came out 2 years ago. I'm sorry, that's just not how that works, especially when there is something brand new, fresh, with incredible story. And I'm sorry, this might be the most gorgeous game I've ever played.
Right, it is very gorgeous. It's the one thing I will say about the game is sometimes there's things that don't quite mesh.
What do you mean?
If you know what I mean? So like it's just small, like small things, not really a big deal, but like in the beginning where like you have the flower wreath and stuff, and he puts the rose on the wreath.
Yeah.
And it's like floating off of the so like it just didn't flow right.
Every game's gonna be like that though.
Right. Like I'm not nitpicking too much, but I'm just saying it's crazy because like you have those moments where it's like an important moment, and it's so goofy looking. And then you get to where you're out in the wide open and other parts of the game, it's just so gorgeous. You know, I don't know. You could definitely tell where they're like they really, really focused on certain things, and they're like, this is good enough for other things, you know. Which I get it, you know, that every game's gonna have that, but also awesome game. Loving it so far. Like honestly, can't wait to get home to play it kind of thing. So
yeah,
it was rough because I didn't go to bed until 1 o'clock in the morning and I knew I had to work because I was playing this game. And then I got an EMS call at 2:59 a.m. I got an EMS call.
Bro doesn't even want to be here right now. He wants to be playing Expedition 33.
Honestly,
I gotta go play a bunch of games with other people too. So I don't even get to go play Expedition 33. And then tomorrow I have to play Baldur's Gate with Miller. Then I'm gonna be back near you for 3 days. Are you off Friday?
I am off work.
But you got plans.
We do have plans, but if you want to come with us, you can.
I don't know. I got to figure out what time I'm leaving on Friday. Because like I come up Wednesday, I'm there Thursday, I come home Friday.
Oh.
And I probably have to come home kind of early Friday because D&D.
Because here's my conundrum that I'm in.
Bro's conundrum.
So I'm in a golf tournament on Saturday.
Oh.
Not really by choice. My boss was like, "Hey, I need a partner. You're gonna be my third teammate." And I'm like, okay. Crazy. Not only that, it's at dark. It's dark. It's night golf.
Oh,
with glowing golf balls.
Okay, that's kind of sick.
Right.
You'll actually be able to find the ball.
Exactly. But also, you only get 3 balls
total.
And it's a scramble, which is good. But you only get 3 balls, $60 to enter per person. So I think the first place winner gets like $500 or $600, whatever. But yeah, at night, I'm like, I can't even hit the fucking golf ball during the day. You want me to hit it at night? I don't know, man.
Crazy.
But anyway, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So because of that, I'm going to golf on Friday to try and get warmed up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So Friday, get warmed up with golfing, and then Cody's going to come with me to go golfing. You can come if you want.
Okay. I don't know if
welcome.
I don't know if I want to bring back my golf clubs. I just borrow
if you need
yours.
to, you just borrow mine.
Yeah.
Because I got a spare driver and everything. So.
Oh shit! I guess I could just borrow my mom's too.
Yeah. So anyway, going golfing. Probably like mid-morning or something like that. We're gonna go golf, and then after that, Cody and I are leaving from that town.
Yeah.
And we're going to Cheyenne.
Oh.
Because we have to go to the Sam's Club there to pick up all of our stuff for the fire department.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it'll all depend on like when I'm awake and when I'm leaving. Worst comes to worst, maybe we can all go get like lunch.
Yeah.
In Cheyenne, because that'll be on my way home. Maybe.
Right. Yeah.
Depending on how late you guys are getting out, how late I am getting out.
Yeah, we'll see. And it's going to take us a while to pick all this stuff up because we also have to go pick up all the big ass fireworks and shit too. Yeah. I think so. In other words, if you hear news about local firefighters that get blown up on the way home,
it'll be him.
You know who it was. Yeah. So, because I've got like, tons and tons of freaking big ass fireworks in my truck on the way home. So that would be cool.
Will it be cool? I think it'll be kind of hot.
Yeah, it would be a little spicy.
What?
But yeah, more than welcome to join us.
Might see what you're up to Wednesday, because that's the other night that I have kind of free.
right? Tuesday I have fire training.
I mean Wednesday night. Tomorrow I don't come home
Right.
tomorrow. So tomorrow you
Right.
have Friday. Friday
yeah.
training. Yes, you have Friday
Yeah,
training.
tomorrow I have Friday training.
Let's go.
So tomorrow I have training.
Yeah.
So I think Wednesday I'm free. Oh
But-
yeah, and Saturday I have a haircut too.
Well, I won't be there Saturday either. I'll be back
Yeah,
here.
I know. I just remembered that too.
Our
But
D&D game is gone for the one I'm in with you is gone for the next month.
yeah,
I'm gonna play
I can
D&D
tell,
on Friday and Saturday this week.
yeah,
Woohoo!
So exciting.
It is Miller's game, back-to-back days. Get an
Yeah.
Aura farm.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's been entertaining, I guess.
Life's been
say the
entertaining.
least.
So,
Yep.
did you see when I posted on Twitter and in the Discord that I got air quotes robbed? So I was at the Rockies
No.
game to get the bobblehead on Saturday. And I got my bobblehead, went in. There's a place in Coors Field that does pizza and wings, and it's like, I haven't tried a lot of pizza places here, I'm not going to lie, but it is the cheapest pizza I can get in Denver, which is weird because it's at a fucking Rockies game.
Right.
But I decided to try the wings this time. So I'm sitting there eating the wings and standing there because there's a little standing room with tables. So I have all my stuff on the table and I'm like, oh, I need to grab napkins. So I take literally 3 steps away to grab napkins, grab a couple, turn around, my bobblehead's gone.
Oh
They
my
were still
God.
handing them out. So whoever took it already had one. So I don't really understand the point of that. So I like walked to the place where they're handing them out and I was like, all right, somebody stole mine. And they're like, yeah, fuck you. I was like, okay. So then I had like $50 in cash. So I just paid a Diamondbacks fan for theirs. Shout out to the Diamondbacks fan who sold me their bobblehead. But yeah, so it's air quotes robbed because it's not like they took it from me. They took it while my back was turned, which is just as annoying.
Joke's on you. That Diamondbacks fan is the one that stole the bobblehead.
No, because I cut them as they were walking in. That'd be funny, though.
Oh. That would be funny though. You just guy steals it from you and then turns around and sells it back to you.
No, so the reason I asked them was it was 2 Diamondbacks fans. It was like a husband and a wife. And I was just like, they got 2. Maybe they're willing to like part with one. Because I'm not going to try to ask another Rockies fan because that's just not going to work. And then I can't ask an individual person. Like these 2 are obviously together. So like maybe that'll work out. I know the dude definitely thought I was a psycho immediately. Because I like, excuse me. And his wife or girlfriend or whatever stopped and he was going to keep going. So he just turns and I'm talking to her. It's like, wait, I just want to buy that. Can I buy that? Cool, thanks, bye. They're like, why? Did you not get one? I'm like, well, somebody stole it. So that's pretty fucked up.
Right.
Yeah. I was sat next to some dudes from Boston for some reason.
From Boston.
Yeah. Who weren't Rockies or Diamondbacks fans. They were just there. I was like, all right.
One of the guys I work with is from Boston.
From Boston.
He's definitely got the Boston accent.
From Boston. Then I was also sat next to some people who were from like Kentucky, maybe? Kansas. One of those. I forget.
2 very different places.
It's the same thing. They're
No.
the same thing.
No. One has fried chicken.
They're just flat, man. It's just flat with nothing. It doesn't matter. But that was fun. My knowledge of Coors Field really helped. That was fun. They kept like asking questions to each other, like, what's this thing? And it's like, oh, it's that. I come here a lot. My
Every
bad.
week.
Yeah, we were talking. They like came back with some food and we're eating it. And I was like, did you get it from this place in this section? They're like, why do you know that? I'm just like, I'm here a lot, man.
I pretty much live here.
Right?
They should just hire me at this point.
Dude, honestly, next summer I might look into that.
You should.
Right? Just go work there every game night. That's only working like 81 days a year. Cool. I'll take some free extra money and free baseball. Sounds sick to me.
Right.
I'd get fired so quick. I can feel it though, because I'm not going to be as strict as the idiots are that like control these sections.
Right.
Dude, there's 12 people here. I don't really care what fucking seat you sit in.
Right. You're as strict as you allow your coworkers to think you're strict.
Right.
So, oh yeah, I'm a hard ass, and then the other way, you're like, oh yeah, just sit wherever the fuck you want.
Yeah, dude, I don't care. If there's a problem, I'll sort that out, but there probably won't be. Because most people, when somebody goes, hey, those are my seats, you go, okay, and then you just move 2 seats over. Who cares?
Right.
Like, it's not that hard.
But also, if it's like that empty, why would you just not be like, we'll just sit over here?
Yeah, right.
I don't care.
Dude, that's
it's like a Wyoming football game. You just buy tickets. It doesn't matter where you buy tickets. You just go places.
I'm so sad about last night. So last night was Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Obviously, an important game. This is the decider. We got to the thing.
Right.
Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers, been their best player, is had single-handedly like one of the 5 greatest playoff runs of all time. Like, actually.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he also had like 3 of the worst individual performances in a playoff game of all. Well, yeah. Weird run for Tyrese.
It's very bipolar.
Yeah, but he started this game like 3 for 3 from 3, was killing it. Middle of the first quarter, he tears his Achilles.
Oh.
And then the Pacers lose because they don't have their best player who is on a fucking heater. And
God. Damn, that's rough.
I saw that and I was crushed. Like, I didn't actually care my team wasn't here, but it's like, I want to see, like, the way that was building up was that this was going to be like, this was going to be a legacy finish for this finals for either team.
Mm-hmm.
And instead it's just we're fucked. Cool. That sucks.
Imagine being the other team though. Like, for me, like,
winning on that shit
like that
sucks.
happens. It does. It honestly does. It
because
means
then there's
more
the question of like, would you have won if that guy had played and you
exactly
that sucks. Whereas if he plays and you win, it's like, no, we beat him at full strength. Fuck you, we're better.
Yeah. Right, exactly. You don't let them have that excuse that well, we lost our best player.
Yep.
Oh,
crushing. I also hate torn Achilles because you can tell when they happen. You can watch them snap, and it's like, oh.
Yep.
So I hate it. Yep. They're like, oh, they're still ruling it might just be a calf strain. It's like, it's not. It's like, I watched that shit pop.
Yeah. No.
I hate the people.
You don't watch a calf go like this all of a sudden.
Right? I keep seeing people, as somebody shared a video of Aaron Rodgers after he tore his Achilles just standing there like it didn't matter. And then showing Tyrese Halliburton who's like crying on the court. They're like, look at how much of a pussy because he's crying. It's like, he's not. Halliburton's crying because he cares. He probably didn't even actually feel it, other than, like, you feel it pop. I don't think he felt the pain. It's just more of he knew immediately, I'm done.
Yep, exactly.
And that's crushing. Rodgers didn't give a shit because Rodgers doesn't give a shit about football. Not actually. We know this.
Exactly.
Come on. Now people are saying they need to shorten the NBA season because of this. The issue is Halliburton had a calf strain. He knew this was possible. But he also played game 6 and 7 because this is legacy, right? Like, you win this finals, you are known forever. So, like, it didn't matter. He straight up said if he could walk, he was going to play. And he played until he couldn't walk anymore. Like, it's not a length of the season thing. I think they should fix some bullshit in the playoffs, though.
Right.
Start the season a little earlier, like start at beginning of October so that you have more time. But stop having all 7 playoff games within like 11 days, maybe.
Right.
Like, that just doesn't work.
It seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I play basketball one time and I'm sore for the next 2 weeks.
Right. And
also,
none of us are playing at the same level they are. But... Yeah. Yeah, but we're also not playing at the same level they are either.
Yeah, no, I run down the court and back one time and I'm out of breath and I'm like, okay, set me down, coach.
Uh-oh, Ric Flair is trending.
Wonderful.
Okay. Well, he's like 95, so every time he trends, I just assume he's dead. This isn't why he's trending, but what the fuck? Oh my god, what are we doing? So it's a post on r/Tampa, as in Tampa Bay. And the post just says, "Does Ric Flair keep coming to your restaurant and shitting himself?" Man has shit himself like 6 times this year, drunk as fuck at bars and other restaurants. He gets thrown out of Water Street places all the time. Anybody in the service industry have to deal with this shit too? Fucking Ric Flair.
That's wild. Guy's got character.
He's got something.
Shitty character, but character.
Fucking ridiculous. What a thing to see when you click on stuff. Goodness.
Yeah.
What else do I see? I don't know. I'm just checking Twitter. I don't remember if there was something. Oh, and then today sucks. I was going to bring this up earlier, but then it's been 30 minutes because I forgot. You know how I said I was going to go get coffee?
Yeah.
They're sold out of the type of coffee I order.
Oh.
Which has me a little worried because I also plan. So I have to go to the store hopefully in the morning. So there's a video I want to do, but I need to go get a rotisserie chicken. And I very specifically want to get one on a Tuesday because Whole Foods, if you have your like Amazon account, because Whole Foods is owned by Amazon. So if you have your Prime account thing, you can get a rotisserie chicken on Tuesdays for $6. An entire chicken for $6. Fuck yeah. But I need that for the video I'm making. And I tried to do it last Tuesday, but I went in the afternoon. And to be fair, I went around at like 5 o'clock.
Huh.
But they were out of rotisserie chickens. So
I see.
I'm going to try to go in the morning, like right when they open, get one early. But part of me is also concerned that they're not going to be selling rotisserie chickens at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
But I need a rotisserie chicken. I need a chicken. What are you looking at?
You know what I'm realizing?
What's that?
How powerful it is to have a military ID.
Why do you say that?
The discounts when buying stuff. So nice.
Cheater.
So nice. I mean, work for the military.
Cheater.
But I bought like oil and oil filter today for my truck. And I just have to give them my military ID number or whatever. And they gave me the discount. And it went from like, $55 to like $38. It's kind of nice.
Cheater.
I know. But I would have got the discount anyway, even if I didn't have the military ID, because I am also a first responder. So,
no.
And then if I didn't get it there, they also have a state employee discount, so I could have got that too.
So, that's fucking funny. Jesus Christ. So all sorts of things are happening in the world. I don't want to get into the political of it all. But
oh God.
The war that's about to start, World War III is about to start. I'm struggling real hard to not just go sign up for like 15 credit cards and just max them out. If I'm gonna die, I might as well die with some cool shit.
Yeah, you're not gonna die.
Hey, have you seen the map of like areas of the U.S. most likely to get hit by a nuke? Because I live in the one.
Yeah, I've seen it, but like also
me first. That When I say me first, that's not what I mean. I don't mean nuke me
Oh.
first, you assholes.
Didn't understand that. You didn't.
Whoops.
Yeah.
My bad.
You didn't explain yourself.
Also, somebody DMing a random chick this is just horrible, but so funny. Since World War III is about to happen, is now a good time to respectfully ask for a photo of your famous butt to keep in my locket when I get drafted?
Right.
Crazy. What a crazy
I
thing
don't
to
know.
say. Also kind of hilarious, but crazy.
I don't think World War III is going to pop off, but I mean, it could, but unlikely. I mean, the last 3 presidents have bombed somebody somewhere over there in the Middle East. So,
Well, yes. I think there's slight differences in the timing and the why and the, I don't know, all sorts of things, but that's not important. I'm
Yeah,
just
well-
saying, if it feels like World War III is really coming, I am maxing out a bunch of credit cards. Might as well make my last 12 videos really cool.
Yeah. eh,
Because, I don't
Yeah.
even need the world to actually end. Just the world to be fucked up enough that nobody's going to care that I don't pay back those credit cards.
that's my thing, though. You know what'll happen is everything will go high alert. You go out there, buy all that shit, and then it's like, oh, false alarm. And then you're stuck with like $2 million in debt.
It's fine.
You imagine the interest you'd have to pay on that shit?
Who says I'm going to pay it back? I ain't paying
mean-
shit.
File for bankruptcy,
Right.
have 0 credit score,
That's fine.
never get to rent an apartment ever again.
That's fine. Well, what do you think I'm going to use the credit cards for? I'm going to go buy a house.
Yeah, except they're going to take your house from you because you can't pay off the credit card
And
debt.
if other people can get away with squatting, so can I. I am less likely to leave than any of the squatters are.
I mean, let me know how that works out for you, bud.
It'll be great.
I'm cheering for you.
Yeah. Yikes. Haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Just talking about it. I think they increased the price for TwitchCon tickets again.
That doesn't surprise me. I have a feeling our fuel prices are about to
That's crazy.
go uppity up.
Yeah. $150 for a single day pass is ridiculous. Also, they're doing $115 for the block party again. For a block party that I'm pretty sure you can still get in for free.
Right? That's what it
That's what bugged me. Like the one I went to with you. Well, you didn't
Yeah.
go to the party, but like
No.
at least that one you couldn't get in. You needed a
Right.
ticket. This one, you just could walk in. The block party gave you free drinks. I don't drink.
right?
What the fuck?
I brought my own water, thanks.
Right? Like, if I can just go walk around. Oh, and I think it gave you free food or something.
So
But like,
why would I
the unfortunate
Why would
thing
I
is
just
they
not go
closed
buy-
down all those places so you can't order food. But also, nobody's paying that
Just-
much attention. I'm just going to walk in and take some.
right, or just eat before you get there.
You didn't hear that, Mr. Restaurant Worker in San Diego?
That'd be fucking wild. Get the personal DM on your
Just as
I
I
heard
walk,
everything you said.
I walk into a restaurant and a waiter just walks up. No, I saw your podcast. Get the fuck out. It's like, all right,
Aw.
man.
He got me there.
We'll go over there. Walks into the next restaurant, grabs the, because it's just like plates of, like little tiny plates of food that you can just grab.
Uh-huh.
So, whatever.
Man.
I don't know.
I never thought I have like books in my house. I got just shelves of books. Random books that I've never read. None of them look very interesting. Maybe one does. How your girlfriend knows, how you know your girlfriend is low-key conservative. It's got a Sean Hannity book over there. I don't know if I could ever read any politician's book.
True.
I don't care what politician it is. I'm not reading no political book.
Crazy.
James Patterson, Texas Outlaws.
I've heard of James Patterson. Never that book though.
Or what else we got here? A book. There's a series of books called Traders.
You're a traitor.
You're right. You're right.
You betrayed somebody. We are only 40
funny.
minutes into this episode. My God.
It's funny because like today, after all this political stuff that's gone on after the airstrikes and shit,
Yeah.
we had to have a briefing this morning about sleeper cells, and
I don't think where you are is where you have to worry about them.
that's
You want to give
Trust
me the
me,
briefing though? No.
trust me, here I am in front of a shit ton of military guys in a morning briefing, and they're talking about, well, if anybody comes up and starts asking you questions about how's the best way to get in, or starts asking you random like important information about this place, just tell them to get lost, or that's not
Google
quite
it.
the words they used for it. But anyway, what they were saying is to look out for suspicious people, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure we're like we're pretty low on the totem pole as far as places they're going to attack, or
In that way, yeah.
But I don't know, it was a whole thing, and I was having a hard time not cracking up during this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I can tell my boss getting a little annoyed with me, because it's like every time they'd say something, it's like, well, I'd have some smart ass comment or something like that, and my boss would give me this look, and I'm like, well, it's true. Like, what? You think we're just dumb? I'm pretty sure everybody here has common sense.
No. Most of them are
mean,
currently eating crayons in the meeting. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, there's no Marines there at that time. Mostly Air Force.
What's the Air Force eat?
National Guard.
Not crayons.
I don't know. Apparently they ingest a shit ton of White Claws. That's what I can say about it.
Nobody with common sense drinks White Claw, man.
I have realized how much the Air Force people just don't give a shit about anything. So one of the buildings the other day, like last week, one of my coworkers, he's like, hey, one of the toilets in this building over here, we were doing the trim on the door, but I heard the toilet was continually running. I'm like, okay, well, let's go take a look at it. So he takes me into this building, and I'm like, oh, okay, it looks like it's an old style, guts internal on the inside of the toilets and stuff. It's the old style that has like the bar that goes out, and it's got a big freaking floating device. And when you install those ones, you kind of bend it to where you need it, to where it shuts off at the right height for the water. Well, it's threaded, so after a while, sometimes they'll unthread themselves and turn upside down, so it just continually runs, never shuts off. So I'm like, oh, that's an easy fix. So I just turn it over, flush it a couple times, and on the second flush, a shit ton of water just comes out from underneath the toilet. And I'm like, well, what the hell? And I grabbed the toilet and I like rocked it back and forth. The toilet was literally falling through the floor. Like, the floor was so rotten, and this toilet's been leaking for so long, that it was rotting through the floor. And like, it looks like it was minutes from somebody going to take a shit on the toilet, and it just right through the floor. So I'm like, well, So then one of the Air Force guys comes in, after his day of training or whatever the hell he does. And so I was like, yeah, I was worked on your toilet real fast because we know it was continually running, and just like your toilet looks like it's trying to fall through the floor. Oh yeah, it's been like that for a while, probably over a year. And I'm like, I just looked at him, and then he just kind of looked at me, turned around and walked off. Like, dude, come on. If something's wrong, we literally have paid employees that can address problems like this. And they're just like, nah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure if they'd have fell through the floor, they wouldn't have said anything. They'd have just left it and went and used the other 2 toilets that were in the building. Like, it doesn't take much to just say something. And then it was disgusting when we had to tear the floor up because, like, underneath the tile and stuff was just black mold, and it stunk, and it was terrible.
Nice. Love that for you.
Yeah, well, it wasn't as bad for me because I didn't technically end up on that job. My other 2 coworkers did. I was too busy working on that stupid-ass urinal up at the Air Force, so the airport building. I don't know.
Is it football season yet?
Not quite. It's got a ways yet. I'm annoyed that they're ranking the Bills as high as they are and talking them up like this. I'd rather them be the underdog.
Sorry, can't happen.
I want them to be the underdog again because it's a lot better if nobody expects them to do anything.
Sorry, you're expected.
And then they actually do well or do better than they expected. Expected. Because now that they're all hyped up, they're going to go, like, not even going to win their freaking... The Patriots are going to beat them for number 1.
If they lose their division, Josh Allen doesn't deserve to ever be talked about as a top 20 quarterback ever again, unless he's hurt. If you lose that division with the way it's laid out right now, he is the worst quarterback to ever play.
Well, he could get hurt.
Like I said, hurt doesn't count. But that's not what you're talking about. You're saying they'll just be disappointing, and if they do that, execute Josh Allen for crimes against football. For making a play that is unnecessary and not like football. Good ref call.
Yeah, I remember that.
You wanna hear something crazy? Yesterday,
I bet it's not that crazy.
Well, yesterday the Rockies secured their 9th win in the month of June.
Oh,
that means they have as many wins in the month of June as they did in March, April, and May combined.
Sounds like a Rockies thing.
Also, they are 2nd in all of MLB in on-base plus slugging in the month of June. They're like a good baseball team now.
What changed?
The manager, the hitting coach. I think realistically the hitting coach is the one that matters more. Jordan Pacheco. Like, the manager matters from a just morale perspective because you get a different message in the building and that can change things. But like the actual they've started hitting better is entirely the new hitting coach is actually. I don't know why this isn't a thing, and I don't know that much about the previous hitting coach. But the fact that not every hitting coach is just a guy who played in the majors is weird to me. Shouldn't the hitting coach just be a guy who's been in the majors? And Jordan Pacheco wasn't even that good at the major league level. But it's not about being good. It's just about knowing what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
And I do think you can do a lot of things as somebody who, like, you can be a good head coach in the NFL without playing in the NFL. But I also think there are positions where you want a coach who has played. Like, quarterbacks coaches should be former quarterbacks. That just makes sense to me. Like, your manager in baseball can be whoever, because you can know a lot about baseball without playing it. But your hitting coach and your pitching coach, they should probably have hit or pitched at the major league level, because how do you get through some of these things? I don't know. Maybe I'm the weirdo with that take.
Yeah, I don't know. That's also got to be kind of demoralizing, you know? Like, you're sitting there as a coach, and then you get booted and this other guy comes in and immediately start being successful. It's like, damn, maybe I was a shitty ass coach.
Right?
Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I got paid a lot of money.
Apparently, the Rockies are looking at bringing Bud Black, who was the manager they fired. They're looking at bringing him back for something. Not as a coach, but as a... Let me see if I can find this. He's a strong candidate to return to the Rockies organization as director of pitching.
Huh.
I don't really know what that means, but... Because that's
He's
not a
gonna
coach.
direct the pitch.
I don't know, man. Something.
They need somebody to sweep up afterwards, so sweep
I
up all the
guess.
sunflower seeds. Pay you $50 to come sweep sunflower seeds. Deal. He shows up and he's all pissed off when he gets a $50 bill. I thought you said $50. Yeah, $50, not $50 an hour.
True.
I could use $50 an hour.
I could use $50.
Real.
I say
I'm
that
pretty
out loud.
poor.
My bad. Did I speak? I'm sorry.
Yeah. You could go sell your bobblehead for $50.
Probably not. I'm the only idiot in the world who would pay for one of those bobbleheads.
I don't know. There's someone out there.
No. I don't know. Let
Someone
me know
out there
if you
goes,
want.
that would make the perfect ejectocito button. I'll give you $51.
Ugh.
And some change for the emotional damage. I got 17 cents. Take it or leave it.
I'm sorry. Break up with your partner in that exact moment. I don't care. I'm watching a video of these people. They're out on a date at like Shake Shack,
Uh-huh.
and the one person just starts recording, bitching about it. Like, I deserve better. It's like, fuck you then.
Better? Shake Shack's fucking...
Yeah, but it's fast
man.
food.
So?
I deserve fancy restaurants. Even though fancy restaurants are normally shit food. I haven't been to a fancy restaurant where I walked out and was like, they cooked here. You know what the best food is? It's not fast food. It's not fancy restaurants. It's that weird random restaurant you stop at along the highway that tastes incredible, and then you drive back past there like 3 years later and it's closed and turned into a real estate place. That is where you get the best food.
Yep. That's how you know, in a way, you got the right one. Because I'm pretty sure I could have taken mine out in the middle of a pig pen and some pig shit and had a dinner out there with her, and she'd have been like, yep, this is good for me.
Just go to McDonald's, see how it goes. Honestly, I think that's the strategy. Just go on a fast food date and see how it goes. If they get upset by it, it's just like, all right, never mind then.
If they get upset by it, they were gold digger anyway. So
Yeah, or something like
too high maintenance or something.
Or like, it's also just a thing of like the expectation, right? Like, if you expect dates to be like super high class all the time, we're not the same people, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But then let's not waste each other's time. You go the fuck over there and find somebody who wants to do that. I'm gonna go the fuck over here and find somebody who would prefer a date night to just be, let's get a pizza and sit around playing fucking Mario Kart all night. Like, that's fun.
I love the videos I watch where they do the survey where they ask women about like, okay, what's your type? What, how much money do they have to make? And all this other questions and stuff. And at the end of the, they have to be 6'2". Oh, they have to make, at least 100,000, or they, and then at the end of the day, they're like, okay, so do you want to know what percentage of men in the world match your expectations? they're like, oh, like 30% or something like that's usually what they say, or 20%. It's like 0.03%.
Yeah, I
Make
guess
what
the height,
some of these women out here,
all of it combined. Yeah, that makes sense.
right?
Yeah.
You know, if you okay, you know, he makes $100,000, but I'm okay with him being 5'5", you know.
Right.
You know,
That changes
be
percentages a lot. Or,
you know, or
the height
vice
doesn't
versa.
matter as much, but you do care about what they make. Because fine. Like, I understand wanting to be comfortable. That makes sense to me. Like, I'm not going to, and I don't understand judging people for their preferences. I just want that to be, like, I wish people would make it clear all the time, like, what the fuck they want.
Right.
Out of every situation.
Yeah.
And, like, let's not waste anybody's time. Also, just be, okay, especially in the world we live in, since approaching people IRL is just weird and nobody wants to do that.
Right.
Can we just stop lying on our dating profiles? Everybody.
Right.
Don't be a 5'9" dude and try to claim you're 6'2". You're not.
That's the funniest
they're gonna
shit that
figure
you bring
it out.
that up.
You freak.
That's the funniest shit you bring that up. Because Aspen and I met on Tinder.
Yeah.
And
did she lie about her height?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did you?
But I put in my profile that I'm 5'8" because I was so sick because I didn't have it on there at first.
Yeah.
And so one of the first couple questions,
it's always, how tall are you?
So we would match with somebody. So they're like, okay, obviously they think I'm attractive.
Yep.
And then they ask, or we'd talk for a couple weeks or something. And then the subject would come up with, well, how tall are you? Well, 5'8". Well, she's 5'9" or something like that. Oh, I can't date someone shorter than me. And then boom, just over. So I wasted 2 weeks on this person, and they're super into me all the way up until they found out I was an inch shorter than they were.
Right. My favorite is always when it's like someone who's like 5'4" and you're 5'9", and they're like, no, you're not tall enough. It's like, the fuck you mean? You can't reach me still. What are you talking about?
Right. But that's, I don't know. But it's funny that you say that because I finally put on my profile, hey, I'm 5'8", and it's weird because after I put that on there, like half of the shit just like I would not get half the amount of likes that I was getting, you know, because I'm under 6 foot.
Yep.
So anyway, Aspen told me the whole story about her swiping or whatever, and we matched, and you know, we started a conversation or whatever. And she's seen in my profile that, hey, it says he's 5'8". So she's like, well, most men lie about their height. So she's thinking I'm 5'5", 5'6". And she's like, that's pretty short. And she's like 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
So she's like, I don't know. She was kind of like on the fence about it, you know, at first. She's like, I don't know, but he's really nice. And, you know, he's being really respectful and nice to me and all this other stuff. So she decided to stick with me. And then we finally met in person. And she's like, oh, you're actually 5'8". I was like, yeah. I put it was 5'8". She's like, well, I can't tell you how many times where a dude would put like he's 6 foot tall and he's actually like 5'7" or 5'6" or something like that. She's
expecting
like,
you to be tiny.
Yeah, so she
was
expecting
literally
me to
just
be
an average
shorter.
dude.
Yep. Yeah, so she's like, oh, well, that, you know, this is going to work out for me because she didn't care about.
What is the average height of a dude in the U.S.?
I think it's like 5'7" or 5'8". Because is it China that's like 5'5"?
Oh, wow. For men in the U.S., well, I don't trust that. Hold on. We're going to go to Healthline. I'm not trusting the first thing I saw on Google. I didn't believe it. God damn it. Why are you... All right. For dudes in our age range, it's that many inches. I'm not doing math. I'm just going to type it. 5'7". Okay. So you're slightly above average.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't remember. Because, I don't know, I thought it was like 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure in like China it's like 5'5".
Yeah, I have no idea.
The average height.
I'm not looking into all that.
Shorter.
I was just curious to what it was here. But yeah, that's always my favorite. It's like I'm literally above average when it comes to height. I'm sorry you want a giant, you freak.
Right. Exactly. But that's funny. That's what I meant by, that's what I was talking about, all these expectations. It's like when you add them all together, it's like there's like 0.003% of men out there for you to try and, get the attention of.
Yeah. It's the thing. Like if we added all of our preferences up together all the time, like it would always be that. The issue is you got to just find what you're willing to like. Sacrifice isn't the right word, but like where you're willing to give.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I get it. We're taught to be like, don't settle, but I think
the issue is I don't think when it comes to stuff like that's settling.
Yeah.
I feel like settling is settling for someone who treats you like shit or like just is shitty. Yeah. Like if there are things you want to be dead set on, be dead set on those. That's fine.
Right. But that doesn't mean you get to be, if you don't find somebody with those expectations, you don't get to be mad at everybody else in the world because you didn't find that person. Like that's the other thing that bothers me.
Like I'm sorry, I'm looking specifically for Shadowheart. I know that's never gonna happen. I'm screwed. No.
But that's the thing. It's like that's the thing. People have that personality nowadays. And it's pretty common where they're like, oh, I didn't find Shadowheart. I'm going to be angry at the entire world because the system's shitty or some shit like that. To be fair,
the system now is shitty, but it's
I agree.
A shitty system of our own making. So like,
yeah,
maybe if so many dudes weren't constantly pieces of shit, it wouldn't be so hard to deal with real life, but dudes suck. Also, I'm never going to get over this, and I'm going to keep saying it. Because it needs said, whether it's in this context or any other context. If I say Bills fans are pieces of shit because of a bunch of things that have been happening, if you are a Bills fan and you're not a piece of shit, you don't need to be offended by it. Just like the men are bad thing. That's true. But if you're not a bad dude, you don't need to be offended by it. Getting upset by it means that you think you're a bad dude. And that just like
you're
men
calling
are bad.
Yourself out.
Right. It's like men are bad. Yes, they are. I've met them. Right? Like these things can be true. Yeah, it's a generalization and those are bad, but there's a reason that exists and it's unfortunate, especially in that case. But it's like dudes are the reason why everything sucks now. Like especially in this space.
This is how I can validate that argument pretty easily.
Please?
Where somebody's like, no, I don't think the majority of men are bad. Which I can't say the majority are bad, but there's a lot of them out there that are.
Right.
And you can easily validate this with a simple argument, which is how many men out there are in a relationship and their woman goes, hey, I want to go out to the bar, with a friend or something like that. And the men have a problem with that. Why do you have a problem with that?
Or let's back it up to a situation between me and you. How many dudes would let their best friend take their girlfriend to go get tattoos on Halloween?
Well,
like take them alone. No, but that's what I mean. Like when you're, it's the weird controlling psychos that are the problem. And that's a lot of dudes.
Right.
Like you aren't. You trust both people enough to be like, who fucking cares? Right? Like,
right.
They're just going to go get tattoos.
But what my point is, if there weren't shitty men in places like bars and stuff, I wouldn't have a problem with allowing my woman to go.
That's also fair.
Either by herself or with a friend, because I know how dudes think.
Right. It's one of those.
I know how dudes act.
When it was the whole, would you rather be stuck in the forest with a man or a bear? I'm picking the bear. Like, I know how people are. Yeah, not all people are bad. I'm picking the man because
I know I can win.
Well, I'm picking the bear because I know 99% of the time, nothing's going to happen. The bear's going to stay doing its thing. I'm going to stay doing my thing. Unless it's a polar bear, but we specifically said in the woods.
Polar bear.
We specifically said in the woods. So I'm not really concerned about it. You're going to stay over there. I'm going to stay over here. We're all chilling. Unless I fuck up and get near your cubs, I deserved it. Or you're just completely psychotic. But the odds of a bear being completely psycho compared to a person are much lower.
Right.
And also, genuinely, the worst thing a bear can do to you is kill you. There's a lot of other things people can do.
Joke's on you. I'm into it. Yeah, cut me.
Oh, God.
Tie me down.
I'll cut you.
Stuff me in a barrel. I'm into it. Just once, though. I only want to do it once. just so I could say I did it.
Just the one time, just for fun.
Yeah. Well, this conversation took a drastic turn.
Yeah, they normally do. I'm just glad we found a way to extend this conversation to full length.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Dudes suck. People suck. Life sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Everything sucks. Buy some merch. No.
Right? Yeah. Life's a bitch and then you die. Buy some merch.
I need to learn to like promote my merch better and more often.
I do it all the time.
I appreciate that. I'm just like afraid to because it feels like I'm just like begging for money.
Bro, you know what I should do? I should run for president.
Should you?
When I turn 35. If your channel still exists by then, you know, I run for president. Even if I'm not that popular and I only poll like 10% or something like that, that 10% could just go. I could literally be like, okay, you know, if you are interested in what I have to say and into my campaign, go to this website, you know.
You'd have your own media company. You can just use my Twitch stream.
Yep.
Because
exactly. I wouldn't have to pay a media company to.
And I was going to say, you'd honestly be the more real candidate because, like, yes, you could set me up with, like, these are the questions I want you to ask. But you also know me, so I'm just going to pressure you on things anyways and get your answers. Whether they're good or bad, we're going to know what you think.
Right. And I feel like I'm more accepting as a person, you know, just due to what we've been through background-wise, just you and I.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm more accepting to reality and how things work.
Yeah,
than majority of politicians these days.
Why am I seeing his Achilles snap again? I'm sorry. Ugh. Makes me feel bad.
I don't know. I'm probably not going to win as a president, but I could set you up for success.
Right. I don't want to run for president. I don't want to.
That's too much. I don't even want to be president. I just want to run for president.
I don't, because that's expensive.
Yeah.
That is like my biggest issue with, oh God, what is this podcast? But like, that's like my biggest issue. We converse so weird.
I know.
Like that's
so
like
dumb.
My biggest issue with the idea of a presidency is because now it's at the point where only rich people or people who demand the backing of lobbyists who then get to pull the strings on them like a puppet. They're the only ones who can run for any political office. You can't actually have a grassroots campaign and run on issues. You have to run on whatever your political backers say, and that's just awful.
Right. You have a better shot working your way up through like local government.
Yeah, but then you still have to find somewhere to get the money because nowhere in the government are you actually getting paid that much money.
But it's no different than like Harriet Hageman for Wyoming. She started off as just an attorney, basically, and
just an attorney that only requires 8 years of schooling and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Well, in the grand scheme of thing, you're an attorney for the state of Wyoming,
right?
You know, and she basically, you know, specialized in like water rights. That was her thing.
Yeah.
You know, and then she kind of started getting more and more into politics. She ran for governor against Mark Gordon, got pretty well demolished. And then, you know, later on, Liz Cheney upset the people of Wyoming, and Hageman pounced on the opportunity to be like, hey, you know, I support everything that you guys are upset about, and got, you know, caught the attention of the Trump administration, which then backed her, which then she ended up destroying Liz Cheney and the, you know, in the political campaign agenda, basically. So I don't
That's
know.
not
That's
fair.
why I'm saying it's easier.
Liz Cheney just pissed people off. It had nothing to do with whether Hegeman was qualified or not. You could have literally ran Cheney up against a literal turd, and the turd would have won. Like, that one, yeah.
Well, anybody that had an R by their name.
Yes.
Because there was Democrats that did run. But everybody's like, no, we can't do that.
Well, the Democrats also, like, if they were the only option compared to Cheney, I bet a Democrat would have won.
Nope. Not even close.
Because people are too worried about Cheney, because the R's there, all the thing. I genuinely think, like, if it had just been those two options, because we can't look at what the polls said based on that, because all of those people voted for Hegeman anyways.
Right.
It would be like, you'd have to run a new poll, basically, because the data can't work out there. Because you'd have to see what...
I guarantee you that the Democrat would have got a lot more votes than normal.
I think they would have.
But you got to remember that the state
is specifically what I'm saying.
I don't know,
but maybe
the
not.
State is still,
because I still think most people who went to vote don't actually look into what any candidate does. They just look at what letter is next to their name.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Hegeman was just another candidate other than Cheney that had an R by her name.
That's fair. That's fair.
Plus, in order to vote Democrat,
I hate that
you literally have to request a Democrat. You have to change to a Democrat in order to get the ballot with Democrats on it.
When you do I did mine.
Unless you're considered independent.
I don't think I was, but I did mine electronically. I didn't have to change anything to get them to pop up. Oh. But that's also still just really gross that that's how things work.
Right. That's always annoyed me.
But I really do think, I wish we could push people to be more aware of things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even saying you shouldn't vote, but I just wish you'd read on things.
That's my thing. I don't care who you vote for, but at least
know what you're voting for.
Don't
be the people, right or wrong, don't be the people who spent the 2 days after you voted for a guy looking up what tariffs were. Know what they are before you vote for that guy. Just a thought. Know what they're running on. And for me, I didn't know everything about every candidate, but especially for the school board stuff that was on the ballot there last year. So instead of fully just researching every candidate and caring that much, it was talking to my sister, because that's what actually matters. She has kids in school. I don't.
Right.
So
and then
who do you like and who do you hate? And then I was then I researched those people. Why? Right. Let's look into that. Because I don't need to look at 40
you also had
guys.
my perspective, which has, we have Cody, who's also a teacher in that,
Yep.
And he'll give you his perspective on if we support this candidate, they're going to really hurt us here.
Yep. It's one of those things. Stop with you're talking politics all the time anyways. Stop with the just being an asshole about it all the time. There's times, trust me, I'm an asshole about it when it's deserved, and it's deserved a lot of the time. But with your friend group, sit down and talk about things, share opinions, figure out where things sit, because people
it's okay to have a
experience.
differing opinion. If someone else has a differing opinion from you, it's okay.
On most things, yes.
Well, unless it's extreme,
right? That's
extremism and shit like that. Right. That's different. But
our opinion on whether people should be allowed to live, I think, this matters. If you don't think people should be allowed to live, I don't think your opinion matters.
Right.
Sorry,
right. That's different.
Right?
But should we raise our taxes 1%? Oh, I think so. And this other person says no. And then you go about, okay, this is why we should raise it, because it's going to really benefit the fire departments or something like that. And then, well, I don't want to do that, because then our taxes for our houses and everything goes up and blah, blah, blah. Lower income families aren't going to be able to afford it. Valid arguments. At the end of the day, you could go, okay, I see your point. Hopefully you could see mine. It is what it is. I'm still going to vote the way I'm going to vote. You're going to vote the way you're going to vote.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But at least I have a different perspective. And I was willing to listen.
And sharing those perspectives and actually listening matters. Now, again, there
Mm-hmm.
are always the exceptions to whether it matters or not, and that's okay.
Right.
But you do also have to listen, at least for a bit, to figure out if that's real or if you're just...
Right.
It sucks. I hate
I don't think
politics.
it takes. I don't think it takes much to, you know, if you're in a conversation with someone and someone's extreme.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long to know.
Yep.
You know.
Extreme on either side, and I guess I'm
there's a
considered
difference-
extreme because I just believe people should just be able to live, man. I don't fucking care what you do. I genuinely don't.
Well, and I would say, someone who's there's a difference between somebody that's extreme and someone that's,
an extremist.
no,
Oh.
someone that's like extremist or extreme, or someone who's strong opinion.
Sure.
I strongly agree. Strongly think this should happen. That's different. That's not extremism.
Yeah.
Extremism's like, oh, I think we should obliterate this group of people just because,
No, that's crazy.
That's different.
I wish I could teach people things. I wish people would listen and understand. But
yeah,
you can't.
No,
you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
I got to start learning how to fuck up all those, like Frankie from the Basement Yard. Just get the expression wrong every time.
I led my horse to water, and all it did was drown. So
yeah, right. Yeah, ridiculous. Well, we are now an hour and 20 minutes in, so
yeah, I want to go play Expedition 33.
I gotta go play Repo with a giant group of people. That's gonna be fun.
Have fun.
Have fun. That's a lot of people. I'm a little.
Oh, I gotta play.
I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared, but all right.
It should be.
Well, without further ado, thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.